Welcome back. Today we're looking at eerie empty places, also known as liminal space. We haven't done this in a little while. I think for a while there we were doing it like once a month, but then it felt like liminal space kind of dropped off popularity a little bit, but I've been seeing it more and more, and it's kind of made me miss it a little bit, so we're doing it again. I've done this enough times where I feel like I don't need to describe this to you now. I think you should either know or you'll figure it out, but just things that you feel like you've seen before that feel like empty when they shouldn't be. Like this. How does this make you feel? For me, I feel like I've been here. And there's a chance that I actually have been here. This feels like the quintessential early 2000s American home. And then I grew up in the state of Idaho, which I'm sure almost everyone watching this will be like, what is it even like there? I've never even heard of someone being from there. It's like this, flat with mountains in the distance. Undeveloped in many areas. It looks like the photo has maybe the saturation or something cranked up a little bit, so it looks just even more otherworldly, but man, can you imagine riding bikes here? Otherworldly. Even if you've never been here, it feels like maybe you have. If you, relate to it, which I do. This is for me. How about this one, huh? In addition to suburbia, liminal space also includes soulless tunnels. This one is so strange to me, and look at these other photos. It looks like, I know it's overused, but this looks straight out of the back rooms, doesn't it? Holy smokes. And it's so funny because this, I don't know if this is supposed to make me feel better. This is such a soulless business hallway, maybe. Yeah, I don't know where this would even be. It seemed like it's in a basement. Maybe they made this hallway without this little pocket here, and they were like, ooh, yeah, we have humans working here who have feelings, and this is the most depressing hallway ever conceived. Let's add a little life to it. And they put what looks like a depiction of a dead plant. I don't think this is actually a real plant. I think it's just like a piece of art. But this, to me, this piece of art here says nothing good. It says, isn't this depressing that life can't exist down here? This is supposed to make me feel better. Hey, look. We made this sad hallway more happy by adding this. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cheery? No, it's really not. It looks like a dead plant that can't survive down here, which is exactly how I'm feeling. Could you not have put a different color carpet down other than the same color as the ceiling and the walls? They're like, how about tan with brown trim, tan carpet, and screw it, make the ceiling tan while we're at it. Sunken living rooms. This is a total, I don't know if I'd say 90s, I don't really know, maybe it's 80s. But yeah, these living rooms that you'd have to go down a couple steps to get into, and the slanted ceilings, and these, why do these fans look like they're so low? Yeah, look at that. It's below the door. You'd walk out this door and this fan would be right here. I mean, if you're decently tall, I feel like this, how tall am I? Yeah, I would hit my head on this for sure, 1000%. Also, two of them? Bold choice. But yeah, look, there's more tan with off-white with tan with warm lighting. What's going on, guys? No wonder my generation is obsessed with colorful lights because it's the one thing we got nothing of growing up. Look at me, I got every video I have a different color light in the background. And I feel like people are like, the neon lights are kind of cringe, but I feel like that's usually younger people saying that about people my age. But I'm I don't know, man. I need a little color. All right, I grew up in this. I grew up in a soulless void of color, and now I need a little color in my life. I'm sorry. I'm healing still. But yeah, this is what every one of my friends' houses looked like. I'd go over here and we'd play Star Fox Assault on GameCube, and it was the best thing ever. And not once did I think that this was as soulless as it is because, there was furniture and stuff. But seeing it like this is so, what were we doing, That being said though, I do like the stairs. I always like a couple stairs that kind of separate the rooms. I think it's kind of cool. Ooh, you got a nice field, foggy field with some big buildings in the distance. Feels like two different worlds, the wilderness biome and the urban biome. That's cool. Also, these buildings are just total copy paste. They're exactly the same in every way, which makes it feel more otherworldly. It makes it feel like this is you're looking into some computer program, the simulation. You're looking at the simulation from a distance. I don't think I'll be going over there. This probably looks cool from the buildings too, because it looks like they're the only raised buildings, and it kind of looks like there's just rolling hills all around them. And the nice thing about being in the big building is you don't have to look at the big building. These buildings are kind of ruining the overall greenness of this environment, but if you're in the building, you can pretend that there's nothing ruining the site, and then you can have a nice view of the site. Isn't that nice? I've been walking for hours. The mirrors are driving me crazy. What is this place? Where does it end? Looks like here? Okay, yeah. The doors are kind of our anchor points here. This room is not that big, but it looks huge. But also, what would this be? Why do you need mirrors on the walls and then mirrors in the middle of the room just to make it more confusing? Like, this is a good example of how liminal space images kind of end up, like how we get them. Because this room, if it was full of stuff and like tables and people hanging out, granted, still probably pretty trippy, but it's the nature of like, it's just floor and walls and mirrors, which makes it so much more disorienting. So it's really the emptiness of a room that's not really designed with the intention of being empty. Like, they're designing it and thinking, okay, there's gonna be stuff here, people are gonna be doing stuff. No one's just gonna be in this room, like spinning around looking at the mirrors like, where am I? Like, that's not the purpose of the room. Mirrors with mirrors is a bold choice. I don't think mirrors need mirrors. I think one mirror is a good stopping point. You get one mirror if you wanna like see a reflection, but if a mirror's facing a mirror, it just seems like there's just no good reason for that. It's just confusing. It makes me feel scared. And I don't need to see myself looking at myself, you know? The space before dawn, dude, this is so beautiful. Look at that hue, look at that gradient. And there's more? Ooh, wow, that is an album cover right there, dude. That is beautiful. Man, these almost don't even feel liminal to me, they just feel cool. Like, I get that sometimes liminal comes with this like pinkish hue of like the otherworldly kind of dimensional sky, I don't know what I'm saying. This feels like more pool rooms adjacent in its coloring. This feels kind of liminal where you're just confused at what you're looking at, but this just feels like somewhere I'd like to go. Can you imagine just sitting on this balcony, just sipping a nice glass of ice water? You know, just chilling, looking out at the sunset. It's funny though, if you look at it long enough and you forget how nice the colors are, you know, it still checks the boxes of like soulless hotel, but my brain sees nice colors and I go, ooh, I like that. Enough nice colors and cool things and feeling cozy. Time for some terror. This is that Vaporama Vision page. They've been making videos like this recently, and they've been terrorizing me. This infinite edge of the abyss here is just something that terrorizes my soul. The rest of it, I don't really care. Like the drawings, I'm like, it almost runs it in a way. It's like, oh, there's people that like wrote these, or there's monsters here. I'm like, that doesn't really do anything for me. It almost takes me out of it. But the water like tricks my brain into thinking it's real. All of it's kind of whatever except for the dark edge of the water. I hate that so much, dude. I don't even know if I consider this full-on liminal space. This is definitely like pool rooms, back rooms horror. So I don't really know if it counts. But man, let me tell you, this right here maybe is the worst thing I've ever seen. There's something about this that just goes straight. It headshots my soul. Here we go. Some weird like tunnels, maybe like a sewer or like a, what do you call it? Aquifer? I don't know, man. But the shape of these is so bizarre that it doesn't need to look like this, but I'm glad it does. You know, this hexagonal shape here that comes from looking down the tunnels is so cool. But every time I see places like this, I'm like, man, it'd be so cool to play like paintball or like something in here. Any sort of cat and mouse type game in here would be so fun. Like flashlight tag. I haven't played either of those in like at least a decade. But seeing this, I'm like, bro, imagine playing like those fun childhood games where you just kind of run around in here. So sick, dude. Or just like staying the night here, like camping out. I mean, it'd be freaky, don't get me wrong. This does not seem like a cozy, fun place. I think as soon as you're trying to sleep in here, so bizarre. Imagine waking up like from a weird dream in here, kind of like where you forget where you are for a minute or two. So bizarre. This feels like no humans were supposed to see this. But yeah, great image, love it. I don't know what the context is, but spooky. 2 a.m. Texas. Yep, this matches what I've heard about Texas, man. A lot of freeways everywhere, big ones too. But yeah, so eerie. All the different overpasses crossing, what is this, 5 different overpasses? Just like a Hot Wheels track that was designed by a 5-year-old. Just no forethought at all. I'm not roasting, you know, whatever. I don't know how this all works, but it seems like that. It was like, we make one freeway. Okay, how do we get people from over here to over here though? Okay, make it go over. Now we got a new problem. These people over here need to get over there. Okay, make it go over that one. And they just kind of kept going over. And then eventually, maybe 100 years from now, it'll just be a spider web of infinitely crossing overpasses. Even Google Maps has no idea how to get you where you need to go. You type in your destination and it just says like, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm looking at this too and I'm also confused. Just Stay home. So trippy though. The fog definitely does it too, and the fact that they got no cars in this image, I'm sure is not that common. Like, as far as I know, there's a lot of people on the roads. I mean, everywhere. But yeah, this is impressive. I don't know when and how you did this, but sweet. The walk to our hotel room felt unsettling. Ooh. Are you sure it was a hotel and you weren't being tossed in the brig? This looks like an old medieval prison. I mean, it looks cool, don't get me wrong. The brick is sweet, but it's so unconventional. This is not what I'm looking for when I'm looking for a hotel. But that being said, hotel hallways almost always look liminal because they're always just super long hallway with a bunch of doors. So hey, they tried to subvert expectations here by putting bricks and these like castle doors. And it looks cool, but I also agree that this looks very unsettling. I don't know if I want to feel unsettled while staying somewhere that I don't live, you know, for the night. Ooh, okay, so we see this one every single time, but someone has new images because they went here. The like liminal space hotel. This is like one of the #1 most popular liminal space images because of how bizarre this looks. You can't get here at all, it's barricaded off. It looks like it was supposed to be something and it never became that. The very soulless, completely flat walls with the evenly spaced, almost perfect square windows. They're a little bit rectangular, but it just seems so... This is how 5-year-old me would draw a hotel. You know, I'd be like, oh, it's gonna be a wall and then a bunch of windows. Like there's nothing else beyond the basic shapes. So crazy that this is real. And I wanna go here. I might actually get to because this is in London and I'm going to London in March. And so I'm like, what if I stay there the first night? That'd be so fun to go here and see it for myself after seeing it for like years. It's so trippy that this is a real place. Like you see this image and you think someone crafted this to be like a back rooms type image, but no, this is just a hotel. They designed this sincerely. They were like, this will be cool. I also love that this, and by love I mean hate, but I love that this is all covered. Because like, is there anything up here? Or is this just the ceiling of the building, you know? Like if you can't get to the courtyard, why didn't you just leave it open? Like this isn't an area you gotta worry about it like being rained on. Like if this is just a nothing area anyway, just leave this all like a giant skylight. Make it like a circular hotel that gets some natural light and maybe it wouldn't feel so bizarre. I probably still would, but the fact that this whole thing is enclosed in a box, what were they thinking, man? We saw this one in the cursed images video, so I won't linger on it. But I've had some thoughts about this one since last we saw it. It is a house that they found in their attic. And this house looks just terrifying. Obviously run down and condemned and not lived in, hopefully, for a long time. But the fact that it's in the attic is so strange. Furthermore, this house has an attic, which makes me think if you go up in this house's attic, maybe you find another smaller house and then so on and so forth until you end up in like the quantum realm or the house dimension. I'm not sure. But I thought about this more and I thought, okay, the only way this could make sense to me that there could ever be a house in an attic would be if it was like a raised house, like maybe it was a house above a business or like a house on stilts. And then they built, no, that doesn't really make sense either. Because why would you not just demolish it and start over? Like if you're not gonna use this house, just get rid of it. But maybe it was sentimental. Maybe they wanted to keep this for some reason as a little memento. Imagine being so rich you can keep an entire house as a memento. But maybe it was like already raised and they built under it and then over time they were like, okay, no one lives there anymore. So let's just enclose it in an attic. Still doesn't make any sense. I gotta think on this more. I can't think of any other reason that it would be in an attic other than it was already raised and they just kind of kept building around it without destroying it for some reason. Maybe they weren't allowed to for whatever reason. But can you imagine going into your house and then discovering, it says these people found this in their attic. Like the people that sold this building to them did not disclose that there was a house in the attic, which means that there could be a house in any one of our attics. You should check probably. But imagine discovering this. Like you just, oh, let's check out the attic. You know, it's a big attic. It's like an entire floor worth of attic. This is just like a 3rd floor or a 2nd floor. But yeah, imagine discovering a house in your house. That's crazy. That's just crazy. Imagine discovering an apartment in my apartment. Actually, I have discovered an apartment in my apartment, but there's some other guy living there. And he always says, hey neighbor, whenever he sees me. Here we go, a little CG recreation, a little combination of the pool room side and the back room side. It's cool, but it doesn't really do anything for me other than like, wow, that's cool to see them both at the same time. Saves me a click. Another classic, just the infinite streetlight road, man. This to me feels like being in the backseat of the car as like a kid and like being real sleepy, you know? And you're just kind of dozing off while your dad drives you home on a road like this. It's cozy, but it's also strange. The streetlights are so close together too. I feel like you don't need to light every inch of the road up like that, you know? Cars have headlights, but thanks. Building in the middle of the mountains. What the hell? This is very strange. It looks like it actually is in the middle of nowhere. This is just some service road. There's a lot of power lines kind of heading to it, or no, just past it. I'm sure some of them connect to it, but it's not like related to power. But there are like 3 different lines of power lines that seem to kind of go past it. This is a strange photo for that reason too. What is this? It looks like there's 1 door on it, maybe 2. No windows, obviously. But it looks like it's branded in like a very casino-esque way, doesn't it? That's what it says to me. Anaconda Casino, and then the 3 words, it seems like it would be something like play, eat, win, live, love, laugh. But why would you make this? For what would be in there? This is probably like 3 or 4 stories tall. Like if there was floors in there, what would this be for? And why does it need branding on it? I want to know more, but unfortunately we don't get to know any more. That's it. Just big old box. Little monolith in the middle of nowhere. If it was not in a valley and it was on top of like a mountain or something, I would say, oh, maybe it used to be a fire watch tower that's like no longer active. Definitely put some windows on it if it was, but like maybe it was that and it was converted, but like there's not even a good view. Like you're in a valley. Strange. Discovered on a hard drive last used in 1997. Oh, look at the resolution, dude. You could count the pixels on this one. Some sort of meeting around the television, some sort of conference. Man, these are so bizarre. Even just like resolution and time frame aside, just seeing like a meeting room with no one in it is so strange. Like everyone is meeting to hear from the TV voice to tell them what to do. And then same thing here, all the chairs are lined up like they're all at attention. And then this looks like some sort of convention, right? I wish I could read what these are, but good luck reading that, man. Yeah, strange. Definitely something businessy, you know? And now our phones have like 30 megapixel cameras built into them. Things don't look that scary anymore, man. This train station in Switzerland looks like a 3D render. Dude, it totally does. Everything looks so flat somehow. It's like too clean. Like there's no texture to anything. It's all just a solid color. Dang, dude, this is sick. And the fog does it. I mean, fog will make any image more liminal than it was, and so the fog totally makes this. It looks like this is some little train dimension, you know? I always say that, but like everything, you know, you can imagine that this is just this place that they're in is only trains. You take a train to another train station and it's all just fog and hills. There's nothing else. It's just trains forever. It's trains all the way down. Sweet. I love it. I also hate it, but I love it. A sunny summer day. Lovely. This one definitely is, I'm gonna say, not real, but cool either way. The blue sky, the infinite green, house on the hill, the fences, very classic liminal, but a little more leaning into the, I mean, I hate to say back rooms because I feel like it's not quite that, but it feels like dreamcore, you know, where you're supposed to see this and think that this is not somewhere you could ever escape, like you're just stuck in here. It's just, you turn around and it's a similar view, you know, it's just green hills and fences and blue sky forever. Pretty scary, pretty liminal, but also kind of cozy, you know? If I wasn't trapped here, like if I could go here for like a couple hours, I'd like that. I just don't want to be here forever. And that's true for probably most of these. I'd love to go here and like hang out, but then I want to go home and go to my complicated home with multiple shapes and colors and other people. Imagine drinking ice water at this house. Ooh, that would hit. Another Texas one, Buc-ee's. I've never been, but you know, they always say like everything's bigger in Texas. From what I've seen, 1000% true. This is a gas station, and it's also a store that is known for being just huge and having everything you can think of. So it's like where I live in most areas in America, like there's gas stations everywhere, of course, but it's like, you know, they'll have like 12 pumps and like a little store, you know, where you can get like Gatorade and like little chips or whatever. But Buc-ee's is like, you have 1,000 pumps, and also there's the biggest store you've ever been to here. You could be like at a half tank of gas, so you're like, I should just fill up at Buc-ee's while we're driving past it, and then you use the entire half of your tank looking for a spot in this 1,000 of pumps that are all being used. And then by the time you pump up, now it's 4 p.m. and I'm hungry, so let's go into Buc-ee's to get something to eat. Then you walk around there till it's 7 p.m. You find a nice little treat, and then on your way out of the gas pump dimension, you're zigzagging your way to get out of here. by the time you reach the edge of the parking lot, you're like on a half tank. So you're like, shoot, I should go and fill up. So you turn around, then you use the second half of your tank, finding a spot, and then you just kind of repeat that loop forever, you know? Oh, I'm hungry again, I should go to Buc-ee's. And then you just never leave, ever. And that's Buc-ee's. We're learning that Texas is the most liminal state. That's 2 for Texas today. Where am I? You are in a photoshopped image, my friend. What's happening here? Oh, it's a wood, okay, it's a dock. I was like, why does it look like the textures are all smeared? Yeah, pretty trippy. I don't know of anywhere that I've ever seen with my own eyes where there's slides that go into like a lake or the ocean. I'm sure it exists, but I see these images a lot where they have slides in or around like actual water, like an actual body of water. And it feels very liminal, like it feels like a weird combination, especially with the fog. It must exist somewhere, I've just never seen it, but I believe that this would exist. And that's freaky. I don't know why that's scarier. I think just slides are kind of scary. Like slides into a pool, like a hotel pool especially. I don't know, there's something just eerie about the whole thing. Like there's that video of someone in a slide and they just like, the slide is flooded, so they go halfway through the slide and they're just underwater and they like are trying to get out the other side. Like that's what I always think of. You're going through a tube that you hope puts you out somewhere where there's air. Anyway, freaky. Don't like it. Ah, very nice. We've seen this before, like a long time ago, and I think last time I saw this, I was like, cool photoshopped image. Then someone in the comment section was like, or it could be a mirror. And I was like, oh my gosh, mirrors exist. You're right, that's crazy. This is probably a mirror. Which makes it way cooler because this is just potentially in lens. Like this is just how they took it, you know? They partially buried a door with like a mirror in it and they got a sweet image out of it. Like I love the practical effects of this. Mirrors exist and mirrors are crazy. What an invention, huh? Cool image. I don't know how liminal this really is. It's just the beach and it's a cool image, but not super liminal. Ooh, very nice. Not that liminal, I wouldn't say, but it's still a cool image. Definitely otherworldly in like a simulation type of way where it's all very uniform and it feels very like designed, like something you would make in Sims or something that you couldn't really do in real life. It feels like too perfect to be designed this way. But it's cool. Bus stop at my school. Smile, you never know who's looking. Feels so scary. Why'd you make it say that? I get what they mean, but man, point not communicated. Imagine some creature out there watching you and you're like, you better look happy, because if you don't, he'll get you. Another hotel one. Dude, this is weird. Why does it go like that? It's kind of cool, but also it feels like this shouldn't work. Bold design. I mean, hotels are just inherently pretty liminal because they're manufactured to be like little pockets of what humans like, you know? So it feels very like printed. It feels very simulation-like, especially because they copy and paste that like 1,000 times. So there's just all these copy and pasted rooms that all look the same inside. But then they always try to get a little saucy with it. They're like, it looks a little too, you know, whatever. We got to spice this place up. So they do something bold with the design of it, and that makes it feel like weirder somehow. This just feels weird. This just feels weird. Imagine just looking out from here, like looking straight down. Like imagine being on like the 2nd or 3rd from the highest floor. Weird. Weird. This place seems safe, but sometimes look back. What does that mean? Seems safe, but you gotta check behind you every now and then. Definitely a photoshopped image for our own enjoyment, but I like it, man. This looks crazy. Like it just looks like infinite hotel or maybe parking garage. I don't know, it looks like kind of both. And then this one over here is just like sitting in the water. And then the chair, very nice. Another place where I would be down to hang out here for like an hour. I would just never want to be stuck here. You know, like this would be weird to see. Imagine just walking down this, just endless. But then I'd want to go home again to my shapes. Surreal stairway. It's a lot of stairs, man. Looks really steep too. They have this sidewalk here, I assume for like wheelchairs and wheeled things. This looks scarily steep as well. Like imagine going down this with like a stroller or something. It's like, do not let go, dude. Your baby's gonna hit Mach 3 on the way down. But this right here, man, if I had my skateboard, think of the points. Think of the combo I could get on this thing, man. This would be crazy. Board slide, kick flip, 5-0, heel flip, blunt side, 360 shove it, dark slide, 360 flip, 50-50, and then I would do varial kick flip to just another board slide, end it classic, and then I would just ride off into the sunset, you know? That'd be me, man. If only I had my skateboard, I left it at home. But if I had it, that's what I'd be doing. I have not skateboarded since I was like 13. And I wasn't very good. I broke my wrist trying to grind a rail and I never looked back. The waiting room. Coming to Super Cable. MTV, dude. This is definitely not a real image, but this uses elements of things that I have seen. You know, the precariously hanging giant tube TV. And then of course the tan walls, the tan carpet, the tan ceiling, and the warm lighting, and the very awkwardly placed pillar here. But yeah, put some chairs in here. play some elevator music, and you got the 90s. Suns glow within the gloom. Another like cozy one. Like some of the ones we've looked at recently, like the last couple ones, were like definitely eerie natured, but this is back to like this is cozy. Like I like this. This feels nice. There's just something nice about like a deep blue sky and a sunrise. Like I definitely, maybe we all are, but I definitely am hardwired to just like the sunrise and the sunset. Like it's just the most beautiful thing that just happens every day. There's nothing nicer than this color, or these two colors next to each other is just marvelous. Just like a reddish pink and a blue. Not even that liminal. I get what they're going for. It's like two buildings kind of alone in the blue, but just a nice photo, dude. I like it. Beautiful, marvelous. A stunning image I found of a dimly lit road leading up to Mount Fuji. Also, this is not just a Japan thing, this is like an everywhere thing, but why are power lines kind of part of the aesthetic? Maybe just because they're everywhere and they seem endless, like you never get to go to the end of them. They just kind of seem like they're everywhere, because they need to be. Like I have one outside my window, and it's probably the one providing my apartment with electricity. Like they're everywhere. You don't always look at them in the eyes, but they're there. But I like them. I don't know, I like how they look. They definitely feel, I don't know what they feel, but I like them. They like make things feel not quite cozy, but like they make them feel liminal. I don't know. I can't pinpoint what the feeling is, but I like power lines. And then again, we have that kind of pinkish hue here. Beautiful, lovely, cozy. Ooh, I'm gonna say this is probably not a real image, but I don't see why not. That's a lot of snow, a lot of untouched snow. Not a lot of snow ones today, huh? I feel like we usually see a lot of snow images because snow makes things kind of liminal, because you have like a park or something that's designed in a way where there's different colors and shapes and, you know, a bench or whatever, and a trash can and like grass or whatever. But once you cover the entire thing with like a soft powder, it all just kind of looks like flat with like a couple little shapes, and that makes it feel liminal. Like it takes away its purpose by covering it in snow and obscuring everything, and that makes it feel kind of liminal and untouched by humans, of course. It's cool, I like it. Makes me feel cold though. Inside of a water tower. Ooh. Inside of water towers has become a fan favorite, and by fan favorite, I mean like one of my favorites. But I've never seen an image like this with a full-on staircase. Like this looks well lit and like clean. If this is real, of course, but it looks real to me. But usually it's like an abandoned water tower, or it's just like a big metal drum and they're just taking it from like a door. They're not like in it, there's not stairs. So it's usually just like a ladder into like dark water. This one is like a whole other vibe than what we're used to. Like this is like a different thing. It's nice they put stairs, not a scary ladder. Stairs going into water, don't love that. I mean, I know they want to keep this water clean, but imagine swimming in here. Be freaky, but it'd be kind of cool. Pretty liminal, I like it. It's like a real life pool room thing. Like, you know it exists, but it feels very pool roomsy. Okay, last one, and then we'll say our goodbyes. This one is a great one to end with. This is such a nostalgic feeling. Like they say liminal space is eerie nostalgia, and I think that's the best way to describe it, like broadly, but sometimes it leans more towards nostalgia and sometimes it leans more towards eerie, but it's always both, I think. But this one just feels like nostalgic with like just a tiny little pinch of eerie. Like it's not scary. It's just like the lighting of, again, the pink and the fog, and then you have like a weird kind of bluish greenish light from inside. This feels like something I saw as a kid, you know, kind of old school, nice big windows, stuff outside. You know, you're staying the night there because it's Christmas or whatever. You know, you get up to get some water or something. Just kind of cozy, you know. I'd like to go here. I'd like to spend some time here. Imagine drinking a nice glass of ice water in this room, dude. Oh my god. Ooh, that would hit. I don't know if this is a real image. It doesn't say, but it's not like unbelievable looking. It's just so perfect in composition. Like the colors are magnificent. Even the like pink reflecting on the ground here, or maybe the floor has a pinkish color to it anyway, but the colors are just magnificent, dude. This is like a painting. This is like a modern painting. Anyway, thanks for watching. I feel cozy now. We get to end on a nice, good vibe one. Appreciate you for being here. I wish that I could do the liminal space ones more often, because I think they're my favorite one to do. I just love these, and I love looking at the top posts for the last month and seeing all the new ones that really resonated with other people, because a lot of them are just fantastic. And we do see some repeats because we've done it so many times, but generally speaking, it's always a good time. Like every image is solid and it's not like scary. It's just kind of fun to analyze and reflect on what makes us human and what makes us feel things, and what do we even feel? Like what even are feelings, you know what I mean? What is a feeling? And why am I having it? But don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't yet and feel like it. I post once a week. I don't post on my Instagram ever, but I also have that. Links for everything I have is in the description. Check that out if you want to see me. I'm thinking about streaming soon on YouTube, maybe on Twitch, just like video games probably. But you might see me streaming soon. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'm lying. I don't know. We'll see. I'd like to stream a little bit. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Chase those vibes. Go look at something pink today, huh? Is it possible that my room without me in it is a liminal space with a pink vibe? Something to think about.